Hello everybody. So Necromantic were announced recently, and then today the Necromantic patch notes have been released. So let's look at everything in order. The Necromantic team will be available Thursday, September the 8th around 7 p.m. CEST. So this is obviously great. The Necromantic are going to come out. You can see the werewolf behind me there. He looks really good. And they're very similar to Undead, except they're worse to start, but better at the top end. Because, you know, essentially mummies are unbelievable players at 1000 TV. Flesh golems not so much, but they build better. And werewolves obviously build unbelievable. They're just one of the best players in the game. Frenzy, Claw, Regen, Movement 8. They're amazing. Get a double for Mighty Blow. They're unbelievable. Get 2 for piling on Mighty Blow, and they're out of this world. So there, and any stat on them is unbelievable. So werewolves are unbelievable. They make the top end from Necro. Necro basically, I consider one of the 3 top league teams in the game. We've got Dark Elves, because Dark Elves are never bad, and the top end's pretty good, even though they miss out on one turning. Chaos Dwarves obviously start off great, loads of tackles. They never have to build tacklers and have that thing, and they've got Claw Palm at the top end. And then Necro, again, they're never really bad. Although they're not as powerful as Undead early, they're never really bad. And they're just good at every T value. So they're kind of a counter in matchmaking to Chaos as well, because they've got no players they want to pile on except for their werewolves, which obviously they protect. So and they can hit back with Claw Mighty Blow as well a lot of the time. So they're a great addition to the game, absolutely great addition to the game. Next point. The game now displays the players in position to intercept the ball during a pass preview. Amazing. It was in Blood Bowl 1. Why it hasn't been in Blood Bowl 2 yet, I don't know, but it's brilliant because you naturally path out and know. I mean, I play Blood Bowl a lot, and, you know, I don't always know when someone's going to be in a position to intercept, you know, off by heart, whereas now you can see that. Great addition. The movement speed of the Undead has been increased by 15%. Amazing. They're listening to the player base. They're so slow, the Undead, and now that the movement speed has increased, it's going to be so much less less horrible playing them. It's like it's a grueling experience waiting so long for them to make all their moves. So now that's going to be brilliant. Next point, a new head is available for the ghoul. I guess they've listened to Knorr here, because he raged a little bit when they came out. They've only got 3 heads for 4 players. And I think that's great. Obviously, every ghoul can now have a unique head. So that's a nice change, you know. That's really good. The Dark Elf star player Hawkon, not Hawkon Heartripper, has a new unique skin. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I'm never going to take him probably, but that's fine. A new option allowing to disable the camera autofocus during the opponent turn has been added. Hallelujah! We've waited for this for how long? It's amazing. If only you could do it on your own turn, and if only they get rid of the automatic push square. But this is brilliant. I mean, this is absolutely brilliant. You know, you're trying to count your squares and planning your next turn, then your camera's moving everywhere. Being able to get rid of that is absolutely outstanding. So happy about that change. A new ranking system in ladder has been implemented. Right, I'll get back to that. And a new official competitive ladder will be created Thursday, September the 8th. And I'll get back to that as well, because these are more in-depth things. Bug fixes. They've fixed the bug giving the money back after purchasing a journeyman. Well, that's good, because that was really silly that you could get a journeyman for free all the time. That was not game-breaking, but it was just a bit silly, wasn't it? It would be game-breaking in leagues, absolutely game-breaking in leagues. So that's a big fix for private leagues, not really an issue in matchmaking. Fix of an issue with Igor, who could heal a player at the end of the match even after failing his regen reroll. Again, that's a game-breaker in leagues, but not in matchmaking. So it's obviously a great fix for people who play in leagues. Fix of a crash when a fireball activated the Necromancer, obviously great. Undead AI can't buy Apothecary anymore, that's pretty funny. Cool animation tweaks, good. And Ramtut 3's recovered his beetles, okay, good. I mean, these are all fine things, aren't they? But the biggest thing to me is the stopping the autofocus. The autofocus was a killer, and obviously Necro going to be a really good team that add a lot to the game. So now the big thing, obviously the big thing here is the ranking. And here's how the ranking works here and how the competitive league works. So the competitive league is going to be a part of COL where you're encouraged to grind to death. It's going to be so grindy, as you can see from this chart. I'm looking the wrong way when I look at it, which is a bit counterintuitive, but here we are. I'm looking at this chart here. No, I can just have it on the screen. Right. So as you can see, I can't show you with my mouse, but the blue bar there at the top is there. This blue bar here, is if you win every game. The red one's if you win 75%, grey if you win 50%, yellow for 25%, and this bottom one if you lose every single game. So as you can see, if you play 200 games and have a 50% record, you're getting over 10 points. Well, about 11 points. Which, to get this points by winning every single game, you've got to win 33 in a row, which is pretty hard. To get this many points by winning 75% of the time, which is a really good record, by the way, you've got to play about 61 games. So it just really encourages grinding, because even if someone's good and they grind their 61 games out with 80% win record, they're just going to get better by playing more games. So it's going to be oppressively grindy, I think. And what the prize do you get? Well, let's see who qualifies. So one of each race qualify for a final top 16 tournament at the end of a 2-month period. Well, okay, so you're going to have Bretts, pointless, Norse, pointless, Humans, pointless. These 3 teams ain't going to win. They're not going to be able to beat the 4 Chaos teams which will be qualifying. Then you've got the Elves, High Elves, Dark Elves, Wood Elves, and Skaven are essentially Elves. They're going to get screwed up by if they get the Norse or the Humans or the Bretts, they might lose. And obviously the Dwarves are a big threat to them, and Orcs are a big threat to them. However, Chaos dominate the Orcs and the Dwarves and everything else. The Undead and the Necro, they might answer the Chaos a little bit, but essentially, because you're using the teams that you qualify with, the motivation is just to build massive TV Chaos teams, because not a lot can live with that. And it's just going to be, I don't know, I just think it's going to be really grindy. I think it's great for people who just play 6 games a day, which some people do, play 30 games a week. They're going to play 240 games in a 2-month period. And as long as they're competent, they're going to end up on like 12 points, which is just going to be outrageously difficult for somebody with any kind of a real life to compete with. So I can see why they want to encourage more playing, but it's really oppressively grindy. And they're also they're going to have this competitive league, and then they're going to have the casual league. Now, unfortunately, there's nothing much casual about matchmaking, is there? Because you can end up 500 TV down. There was a game that I played recently, a new player, level 2 or 3 coach, 990 TV Orcs, gets drawn against my 1490 TV Skaven. What can he do? He can do nothing. I mean, that's just horrible, isn't it? There's nothing casual about that. He has no chance to win. If we were equal TV, he would have limited chances, but at least he'd be in with a shot. But instead, he's just got that robbed. It's so unfair matchmaking when you can have huge TV gaps. And to me, a casual league has to be challenge-based. You know, you have some kind of a lobby, and you say, hey, buddy, do you want to play my team? Yes. Blah, blah, blah. Done. And they've also said they want it to be the casual available to any team. And this is huge, because for some reason, some people in the community have raged against this. Quite a few people are raging against the idea of having farm teams, because what you can do is you can create a 2-player league, and you can concede. One of you can concede to the other one 400 times. This is how long it's going to take. 400 times. And then essentially you get a team of legends, and you can pick and choose which ones to keep and farm your team like this. You know, brilliant. This is about a minimum of 400 times you're going to have to do this just to get a legend player. So are people even going to do this? I don't know. And if they do, so what? They're either at such a ridiculous high TV that you never get matched against them, or you get matched against them. My match against Lupac, I could link that in the description here. My 1700 rats get drawn against 2200 TV Chaos. I don't care if they're farmed or not. He had 2 strength 5 Chaos Warriors. He had loads of Claw Mighty Blow piling on, guard. He had a strength 4 agility 5 Beastman. I don't care if he's farmed them or if he's got them with fair play, you know? And like, there's the argument that it takes away from the experience. Okay, it does. But people can learn from that. People can make the dream team they've always wanted. They can make an 11 legend all Blodge Lizardman team, and they can have a few games with it, and they might find it a shallow experience, and then stop playing. Well, so what? It hasn't cost anything, and you can essentially farm teams in Call now anyway, seeing as there's no repercussions for conceding a game. You get a hard miss next game, you just simply concede and clear on. I mean, I don't endorse that kind of play, but it happens. And, you've just got to look at Fumble and teams like Zai, Toppy Oz, whatever the hell it is. He's played 70 games, he's got 4 Legend Clawpommers, Jump Up Clawpom, Beastmen, and he's 1400 TV, and that's unbelievably abusive. And he's just done that genuinely in 70 games. Lupac got his Crazy Chaos team genuinely. And why should you care? They're paying the TV. Sure, they might be slightly more optimised, but you're getting matched against who you're getting matched against. To me, it's not a problem. So I went on a bit of the deep end here, but here's the thing, right? If you top this competitive ladder after 2 months, you get into a 16-player tournament with one from every race and the top 3 other teams, and then you have a knockout, and then one of these 16 teams that's grinded about 200 games gets a fan favourite on one of their players. They're thinking about making it cost 10 TV. Brilliant. I'm going to grind my ass off for a 1 in 16 shot of a skill of dubious worth, and then, then my record goes, and nobody knows I was the champion unless I brag about it all the time, and I just don't know, and now the big thing is, at the moment, Cyanide don't have the functionality to allow call teams, casual call teams, and competitive call teams into call. They're just going to open it to everything. And then people don't want that for some reason. I don't know why anybody wouldn't want this. They think farming things is a concern. I honestly, genuinely don't understand. If you can explain to me why people being able to have fun is bad, please explain it to me. Grindel made an outstanding quote. Let me see if I can find it here. Oh. If the essence of Bloodbowl is about struggling and suffering instead of winning games and having fun, I'm not sure how it's supposed to attract new players. And that, to me, is it. That's what it's all about, isn't it? It should be about having fun, which is why I think, absolutely, the casual league on Fumble is ranked. Where some people like to call it competitive, but it isn't. It's casual. And that's what it's all about. A new player's got... And I think you should have a coach ranking as well. So a new player could be like, oh, Jimmy Fantastic, he's a legend. I don't want to tangle with him. Oh, but look, here's another rookie. Let's have a nice friendly game of equal TVs. And instead, his 990 Orcs gets smashed by my 500 TV advantage to Skaven. It's just crazy. It's crazy. That to me should have been Cyanide's #1 priority. This crazy ranking system here in a grindy competitive environment, that's not going to get new players in. That's not going to make them money. They should have maybe brought out some kind of pay-to-win elements of paying real-life money to heal players, because heal permanent injuries, only in matchmaking, of course, not in leagues. Maybe you could toggle the option for leagues, but something like this is they're not making any money from this. So what if somebody plays 200 games with Chaos, or 16 people play 200 games, and it will happen. And I just don't know. Anyway, so there's a thread on the Bloodbowl official Cyanide forums, and people are actually campaigning to make the open ladder open to new teams only. And I think that's the worst thing. The competitive ladder is open to new teams only, which the competitive thing is the only thing that matters for that. I think, and somebody made a very good point, that somebody could play single player against the eye and stuff, and then give multiplayer a go with that team. And somebody else made the point that creating a 2000 TV makes it an empty, hollow experience. Well, yes, I agree. I think it will be a very hollow experience for somebody who has sat down and conceded 400 games to himself to make a 2000 TV team. But so what? It's no skin off my nose. I'm just going to play the game, and I think if they disallow, this is the key thing. If they set open ladder to new team only, what that means is these competitive teams here that have played their 200 games to qualify, and one of them's got fan favourite, they're dead. They're just, there's no future in them. Terrible, absolutely terrible. So I made a big rant about this because I can't believe that anybody is against the farming teams. They pay their TV. It's fair. It's like, who cares how they got there? You get matched against them. You can just concede if you don't want to play against them. That's no problem. You don't get punished for it in Cyanide. You can report them and then somebody might do something about it, maybe, but I don't think they should. Just concede and move on if you feel that strongly. But, I got matched against Lupak's team. It didn't matter whether it was farmed or not. Like, obviously I know it wasn't farmed, but that looks like, I think, what somebody would farm a team. And they would have to spend a lot of hours to farm a team that good. And then I won anyway, so there you go. So it's gone on a bit long here. I've maybe ranted a bit too much, but I'm so passionate about Blood Bowl, and I just don't want people to fuck it up. I don't want Cyanide to fuck it up, and I don't want vocal members of the community to fuck it up. And while a lot of them say a lot of good things, a lot of them say a lot of bad things as well. And I just don't. I really don't want to see it die. I love Blood Bowl too much. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. You leave a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't. And have a vote. Well, actually, the voting will stop soon, but I'll leave the link in the description for this poll, and please open to any team. That's the point of it. To me, that's the thing that's going to help new players have fun, get into it, recommend it to their friends. This ranking points, a competitive league, it's going to be good for a select few, but not many people, I don't think, are going to be interested in it. I would like a good system, but I just don't know what that would be. It's hard. It's really hard to make a good competitive system, and I don't know why they're wasting their time effectively on this competitive system when there's more important things, which is getting new players into it, which is not putting them off by getting match 500 TV down against me. So there you go. Yeah, I don't know. Look, I've rambled. It's a bit rambly, but there you go. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Anyway, and I am going to be grinding out the ladder when the new competitive ladder. I don't know if I'll be using Necromantic or Chaos. I might give Necromantic a go because they're new, or Chaos just because they're the best, or even Skaven to build up, one turn or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens when the patch hits. But I guess I'll have to use Necro just to showcase them. And I'm also going to be doing a series of team builds and skill ups and stuff, and which players to focus star player points on. So I'll definitely be doing those soon, because I'm going to prioritize getting the YouTube off the ground. I'm lagging behind certain other people, so I really want to push the YouTube more because people want it. I didn't realize how big YouTube was really. I was doing my streaming, and I know people like the streaming, but there's a lot of people that like the YouTube as well. So I'm definitely going to make the YouTube a bigger priority going forward. So keep an eye out for that. I'll do one for the Necro, definitely. Go in depth on the Necro when they come out, because I don't have the game, so I can't show you the players' stats and everything. But I'll definitely do a showcase for the Necro 100%, and then start adding other ones later. So once again, thank you. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't. Thanks. See you on the pitch.